Hi, welcome back to the Huddle. My name is Kirk Geller, and today I'm here with Betsperts Media and Technology Group co-founder and CEO Reid Rooney. How are you today, Reid?
I'm doing great. Happy Friday here in Chicago, and summer in Chicago is pretty much unmatched, so I'm doing quite well.
Absolutely. And the company recently announced its acquisition of Fantasy National Golf Club on July 28th. So I was hoping you could tell me more about the Betsperts platform and how the acquisition will help to enhance the company's offering.
Yeah, I think it was a really big step for us. About 18 months ago, 2 years ago, we acquired four businesses in about a 2 year span. Started to integrate them and roll them up, and we took a little bit of a pause because that was a lot. Fantasy National is our first one since, and Fantasy National is I'd call it the original or one of the original brands and platforms in the space that does subscriptions for tools for golf bettors and DFS players to model out their own custom models or follow other models of people that they trust. And it's been an incredible brand for a long time. We, a couple years ago, started Betsperts Golf with Paige Sporonic and are looking to always grow in the golf space. There's very high quality users and subscribers and LTV that are existing in the golf space and continues to grow in the betting and fantasy world. So as we got the opportunity to look at Fantasy National, it really fit into our portfolio. They have the pedigree, they have the user base, they have the name, and I think we have some updated technology and some more customization ability, as well as they have Pat Mayo, which I'm sure we'll talk about here shortly. But for us, it is a big step to be the leader in the golf market moving forward, and we're looking to continue to invest more in the golf space.
Had this been a transaction that Betsperts had found interesting quite some time ago, or more of a recent strategic maneuver?
It was a more of a recent one. Realistically, the name I mentioned earlier, Pat Mayo, he was one of the two founders for Fantasy National, and one of the loudest voices and strongest followings in the entire space. And so when he had sold Fantasy National earlier, there's a couple times that he and I talked about potentially coming to work for Betsperts Group. It never really worked out, and Fantasy National Sports Hub treated him very well. So it came to the opportunity where we might get to work together here in the near future. And I think it just worked out really well that not only would we have the opportunity to bring Pat on board, but also Fantasy National was up for sale. And I don't know that a lot of people knew that, because without Pat, there might not be the Fantasy National. So it was kind of a combo deal for us, and we were able to work with Sports Hub in a very meaningful partnership way that worked out great, and it moved pretty quickly, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And are you able to share more about what Pat's role will be with Betsperts going forward?
Yeah, Pat is going to continue to be the face of Fantasy National and one of the faces of Betsperts Golf. He'll be a lead contributor into how we develop our golf properties moving forward. I think there is a lot of growth that we can have in him being around for so long and hearing so much user feedback. He has some ideas that I think we'll be able to build because it's more of a focus for us. And he also will be coming on board for our fantasy subscriptions and our betting subscriptions. So we're bringing Pat on. He'll still own his media business, but we're bringing Pat on to help lead and direct us in subscriptions for betting, fantasy football, and golf.
And what kind of level of activity do you see for golf on Betsperts compared to sports such as like football, basketball, or baseball even?
We were talking a little bit before the call, actually. I think NFL is king. I think NFL offseason is the second king. So what we look at is trying to make sure that we have a property with the attention throughout the entire year at all points. So whether it's baseball and Bleacher Nation, whether it's football and it's 4 for 4, or Bleacher Nation fantasy, or in the offseason is Dynasty League football. But golf for us is a very, very strong property from January to right about now, maybe Fourth of July timeframe. The British is a little bit right after, but the users and subscribers and golf fans are so passionate analytical, and I think there's more opportunities to find edges in golf than there are in other sports. So we see the activity maybe not year round. We see the activity in strong points of the year, but the users are so passionate, and I think the fact that we are able to fit some of their customizable needs is a big piece for us. But I think golf has grown a lot in the last 2 years. People were concerned about the live and the PGA issue there, but for our perspective, it's grown faster than we thought, and the retention is stronger than we thought. So I think golf is a market that is underserved and continues to be so.
No, of course, and especially what a time coming off the U.S. Open, obviously with Scotty Scheffler and everything. So I guess it really worked out there. But having originally been part of the team that founded Betsperts in 2018, what was kind of the motivation for starting a sports betting social network?
So it's interesting. I think we looked at the markets. My co-founder and I looked at crypto, cannabis, and sports betting. And to be transparent, I didn't know a whole lot about crypto or cannabis at the time. I knew sports betting was very social. I thought we could build potentially better tech for people to connect on, and data for users. And we had a lot of really early success. But as we continued to grow, we saw a different vision of where the U.S. market was going to go. Not just the social component. We still strongly believe that, and I think our thesis was correct. But we saw the opportunity to monetize through subscriptions, through news reporting and ad partners, through the affiliate side of the business. So we wanted to get some scale and make sure that we were heading in the right direction for very, very strong revenue each year that we could depend on, and have the sports betting side, depending on legislation, be the upside. And it's worked out quite well. I think from my perspective, the social part is huge. I think everyone sees that in texting buddies or betting alongside with people. Fantasy is still as passionate as ever. And I think we're going to continue to see more and more integration across the business, across every business for that. And what is the big piece that I think stands true still today is the community aspect. And every acquisition or investment or build that we do has to revolve around something that has a nucleus of a strong community, because with Google search changing or AI coming into place, you can't replace the connection and the community aspect of sports. And I think that's something that we started with. It's a little different than day one, clearly, but it is a piece of everything we do, and I think it's only going to get stronger as the world gets more difficult to connect on a human level.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And not to call golf, under the radar with this question or anything, but what could be another example of a perhaps overlooked sport that gains a lot of traction on BetSperts?
It's a really good question. If I had to take a stab at it, saying where I think there's going to be stronger growth in the next couple of years. I mean, I think you've seen exponential growth with the WNBA because of Caitlin Clark and many other players, of course. But I think the impact from where it was a couple of years ago to where it is now is dramatic, and I hope it takes a leap forward even more so. I think if you look at the one that I would say probably has the biggest growth opportunity in America and will in the next couple of years is European soccer. I personally am a huge Tottenham fan, champions of Europe for anyone who's watching. But I think with more American players going overseas, I think with the World Cup coming here and Peacock and the access to soccer before college football or before NFL, I think we're going to continue to see that grow. And it's something that we've looked heavily into. I think it's a little early still, but the passion behind soccer and soccer clubs, or if you're from anywhere else in the world, football, I think there is almost unmatched besides if you think about American football and NFL, or college football. So I think that is going to continue to leak into the United States, and we've seen big growth in that here as well.
I'm glad you got in the football part of it because my UK colleagues will appreciate that. And you were quite bold to call it the Tottenham fandom. I'm hoping that doesn't create any enemies over in the UK.
As long as you're not an Arsenal supporter, you're good in my book.
You know what? My editor's Liverpool, so that's all good.
That's fine. That's fine. They stopped Arsenal from winning last year, so I'm good with it.
Perfect. And would it be fair at Betsperts users to expect more acquisitions in the near future? Or I know you mentioned some sports that you expect to grow in popularity, but perhaps one that you hope to build a greater presence for on the platform.
Yeah, I think our goal would be to roll up a couple more. I think if you look at kind of the space in North American gambling so far, 5 acquisitions is pretty high up there for companies number wise in the last 3 years. I think especially at our size, there probably hasn't been anyone who's done that yet. My co-founder and I actually come from a Fortune 200 company that Stanley Black and Decker. They had a tool brand for every little part of a work site or a job facility. So when we come and look at, hey, building versus buying or the investment that goes into it, can we scale a business that is incremental with strong retention and strong community? Because building a community, you can't fake it. And so there's a lot of great businesses out there that have done that, and I think that sometimes get overlooked. I would anticipate that we continue to grow that, and doesn't necessarily mean we have to go into English soccer, but it could mean that it's another football brand that has things that we don't have, or can make us better together, and we can put together an entire portfolio of an audience that we can have every day throughout the year visit our properties, and that's our goal. So trying to bring value to our users throughout the entire sports calendar year, where they can find community. If there are acquisitions that help us do that, we're interested.
Of course, and I appreciate you speaking on that and for joining us here today, Reid.
Thank you very much for having me.
Of course, and thank you, viewers. We'll catch you next time on the Huddle.